What's up, brother? I can
Hey,
see
what's up,
you
man?
have it up again.
I had a feeling this was going to happen. I couldn't get it to work for the life of me. I don't know what was going on.
Sometimes these lives glitch out, as I understand it.
Yeah, I kind of,
See,
I kind of hoped that things would have went a little bit smoother, but you can expect that, I guess.
Directed energy weapon targeted.
yeah, I also wrote it in the chat. I think how my story started, my friend. I was a kid in elementary school, and I would be sitting for hours in the darkness. I would just sit in dark room and ask myself why. People would tell me, "Yeah, there is God, there is this. You have to be afraid of that. If you don't do that, you're gonna hell. Oh, sorry if there is windy. I hope it's not disturbing this. And then I just reached my knowing through me, through inside of me, and then I found people and books which actually told me the same thing, and I think it's very cool. I read all the books, the religion books, Bhagavad Gita, Hermetics, everything, and it's very cool.
Uh-oh.
And peace, I just saw you. And peace, peace. What is your name? Sorry, peace in the. I don't see the whole
It's
name.
Peace.
Peace
Oh,
in the
it's
meadow. Yeah.
it's my whole. Yeah, but I go by Meadow because it's actually what my real name means. My name's Shelly Irene. Shelly means in the meadow in Anglo-Saxon, and Irene means peace in Greek. So that's what I chose to be my handle for this. But I've been being called Meadow for a year now, and I really kind of like it. And I think I'm gonna probably, as soon as I can, legally or financially do something like that. I think I'm gonna change it from Shelly to Meadow, and it makes more sense because breaking out of your shell into the meadow. Hey, I don't know. I'm
I
big. I'm a poet, so I'm big into like wordplay and stuff like that. I think it's cute. But yeah, Meadow. I prefer Meadow.
I just want to say I'm happy I met you here because I saw a couple of your videos and you have been doing a lot of thinking, and I appreciate you as a person. You're you're stating some good points. I just scrolled through a couple of your videos and it's amazing. What you said, that people don't hear themselves talk, and question their own thoughts. So yeah, it's a good point.
Wow, thank you, man. I really truly appreciate that because in the real world, in the 3D world, I'm always getting told that I'm stupid and an idiot and crazy. So I'm just like, oh, okay, wow, you're exactly the kind of person I want out there telling people how to be and who they should follow. So if you're telling me that because you don't get it, that's the way. That's what I deal with on a daily, in the world. And then I come online and it's a whole nother level of that, and it takes the ones that get that. It's very few that get it, and the few, thankfully, is a number that's increasing, thankfully. But
Yeah,
this is
I have
what
the same
me
thing.
and Corey here are teaching. I got cat hair on my
Yes.
mouth. Sorry. That's
No, no,
what
no.
we're
Sorry,
trying to
I
teach
have the
is
same.
to be better to each other and quit being so shitty because you don't go to the same school or vote the same or have the same body to eat the right food or whatever. I love that you want to work out. That's awesome. I don't work out because this, and this, but I do in another way. I don't have to go to the gym for it, so don't shame me because I'm not a gym rat. Screw you, dude. You know what I mean? Like, quit being like that. And you're trying to better yourself when doing that, but then you're telling me that I'm not cool enough because I'm not doing it exactly like you. But yet I'm healthy and I'm fit and may not be able to bench press 300, but I got that mom energy. Go ahead and try to put a car on top of my kid. I promise I can pick that thing up one handed. You know what I mean? And I didn't work out in the gym every day to do that. So that's all I'm trying to say is that there's not one way to get to wherever it is that we're all going. There's not a one way to do it. It's not a one way street. We are a bunch of different individuals with all of us different talents, different gifts, different knowledges, different abilities. And if we all start sharing those things instead of shaming each other because you're not as cool as me, or you don't know how to do this, or you don't know this, or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, really? That's not cool at all, actually. So I'm already cooler than you. You know what I mean? If you're gonna act like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. So I appreciate you saying that, Wisdom. That's cool.
No, actually, I had the same thing. I was compressed for many years. I tried to relay what I know to people in a fast pace. In a 30 minutes, a woman was challenging me. She wanted to know everything. So I was trying to compact 35 years of thinking into 30 minutes, of talking, and it was very hard for her to comprehend. But it was meaningful. She was just out of word in the end. But it's not the way to go. I don't think I should push any information to anybody, but just plant the seed of my knowing and help people find the way. It's like showing you the way where you can go and think for yourself in different directions. And by that, I'm just going to leave it to the right guy. How are you, brother?
All right. How are you guys? This is my first time even seeing this live, and I really only accepted it because I know Wisdom, from another one. And his comments are, I find, generally high frequency. So I accepted the live request to come up to the panel. So hello, everyone.
Welcome in.
Oh, and you're in the right place, man.
So can I ask you, what are your feelings and opinions or feedback, however you may look at it, on the panel that you see in front of us?
Can you repeat the question? How are you feeling of what?
I was just asking the right guy. I was just asking him what his opinion or feelings were on the panel, the 3 levels of thorough right here.
Yeah, I don't know what the word thorough means. All of my all of my understanding is self-taught through meditation and meditative states. So I'm not familiar with that term thorough, but obviously understand the words that you list under each one of them, and they're all very high frequency, high level, loving words. So I resonate with what I see here in written English. So I don't know what else to say at the moment, because I really haven't really tapped into the energy of the people in the page yet.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You're good. I was just going to say you guys are good to discuss whatever you guys would like to talk about. I got to get the door really quick, so I'll be right back.
For the rest of the panel, I just want to say I had the same unfolding like the right guy. I actually came to all of my knowing through inner self, through my own questioning, my own thoughts, and my own beliefs. And I would just ask the question, why? If I say an axiom, I say this is. I am presented with an idea. I have to dig into the idea until I find the root cause of everything. If I don't find the root cause, I'm not stopping. And this is my curse and a blessing in the same way, because I think everything through to the bottom of everything, and until I understand the root cause of the why of things, I cannot judge. I cannot say something is right or not. The only thing I can do is just express what I have concluded on, and I can explain how I concluded on everything. But this is just me. I think knowing is deeply present. Sorry.
You and I are on the same page, brother, man, for reals. Because yeah, that's exactly right. I actually have a poem that I wrote just a few weeks ago called "The Why Child," that even though I don't actually have most of these questions that I put in the poem anymore, and I haven't in a long time. I wrote it because I'm not just self-aware, but aware of my surroundings and the people too, and I see see where they're coming from. I understand why they feel the way they feel or say the way they say, but they don't understand sometimes, like that they're lashing out at somebody because they're programmed, or that they've self-programmed. and that they're angry or sad or depressed. They don't realize where that's always coming from, and then they'll turn right around and accuse you of where that's always coming from, and then they'll turn right around and accuse you of doing the thing that they literally just did to you, and you're like, huh. That's where the do you hear yourself phrase even came from that video you were talking about. Because I was literally just sitting there listening in somebody else's live, wasn't even on the panel, was just listening to everybody talk. And these are people that I have a lot of love and respect for, that I learned a lot of things from. But I was sitting there like listening to them in that particular topic, and I was like, oh my God. Literally everything that y'all have taught me just went out the window in this one live listening all. And I kind of got pissed off about it, and I left. And then I made that video, and it took me like 3 hours to freaking edit it down to 10 minutes because I just was ranting forever because I was sitting there going, because I didn't want to call any specific buddy out, because I realized that we're all kind of guilty of it at some point or another. In fact, one of my poems in the 3 grievances, it literally says, please don't take this as a personal attack. I realize I sound exactly like that, because I'm just trying to get people to understand that we are all different, but we are all the same. We are all over the world, but we are all so connected. We may not understand why we can feel and tap into everybody else's energies, thoughts, and expressions, but we can. And there's like, if you can do all that, and if you're aware of that, or even just pretending to be or trying to be, but you're still telling everybody else that you're the only one that your answers are the only ones that are right. It's the way I always say it. If we all have a piece of the puzzle, and we're always arguing over whose piece of the puzzle is more important than the others, or better, or whatever, we're never going to get those pieces to fit, at least not comfortably. And who'd want to be neighbors like that, right? But if instead we're curious and open to receive, and we want to know about each other's pieces of the puzzle, and we do so in a kind and compassionate manner instead of a damnation manner, then not only can we get those pieces to fit, but then we all get to see the bigger picture together. Now, I don't know about y'all, but sounds like a whole hell of a lot better than being a little crumpled, grumpy old piece of puzzle over here by my damn self. Talking about, I don't like you because you don't believe like me. I don't like you because you don't vote like me. I don't like you because your hair's long and your hair's bald. Fuck that shit. Why are we like that? Stop being that way. How about we be cool instead? Hey, you know what? I really like this thing. Instead of being jealous and envious, say, I really like this thing about you. I kind of wish I had it too, but like, I think it's really cool that you do. Instead of being like, I'm jealous because they have it and I don't, so I'm going to be all daggers at them. That's the wrong way to be, man. How about you instead be like, celebrate it together. I wish my hair was curly like yours. Cool, awesome. I promise you don't, because it's a whole nother nightmare, but I wish my hair was straight. Guess what? They make perms and straighteners, so let's do this together and see what we look like. And I promise you 5 minutes later, we'll walk out in the humidity and both hairs will be a mess, and we'll laugh about it instead of being jealous about each other's hair. Good grief. Or my religion's cooler than yours, or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's in all topics. It's in all levels. And this is the way I've always felt. Didn't matter what my beliefs or lack of was. In fact, when people ask me what I believe now, I still tell them I don't believe in anything, because lie is right in the middle of that word. L-I-E, right in the middle of the word belief and believe. And I've seen people unalive each other, maim each other, and deny each other food and shelter even over that word. And so I'm over here trying to rip labels off. And in doing so, I've gone from atheist to knowing who I am, remembering my past lives or future all at the same time, doesn't matter. And it would blow your mind if I started talking about that in depth, but I'm not going there today. But I learned that that's what most religions and political parties are lacking, is trust, honor, unity, respect, loyalty, kindness, understanding, compassion. They're missing that, and trying to preach that they're the right ones. So I say maybe we rip all the labels off and just be fucking peoples and love each other, instead of being like, well, you're this kind of person and you can't get there unless you do it this way. That's dumb. Don't do that. And I don't adhere to your limiting beliefs. I don't adhere to anybody's limiting beliefs. I know that we are God. We are gods. We are creators. We are masters, even if we don't know shit about it. we can master it. We can create it. We can learn how to do it. We can teach somebody else the things that we're skilled at. You might be a little better at standing on your tiptoes than I am, but guess what? I can practice and get there too. I know I keep giving these stupid metaphors, but this is how I do things sometimes. And so I really like that about you up there. And what's your name? The right man? The right what? I didn't catch it.
The right guy.
The right guy. That's cool. Can I just call you Guy?
Yeah, sure.
I had an uncle named Guy. His name was literally Guy. I love that. Your parents couldn't think of any other name to give you, so they named you Guy. It's literally on your birth certificate. He was my favorite uncle too. I love that man so much. He's been gone for a lot of years, so I totally want to call you Guy down, honoring him. But I'm gonna shut up. But how are you, right, Guy? Come on in.
Yeah. It's all that you say is really resonates well, and what I feel is that every soul on this planet has a unique journey of discovery, and that we have to honor every soul's journey. And there is not my journey or your journey, my way or the highway. That's just all low frequency, dense comments. I believe the purpose of our existence is based on the fact that we are infinite frequencies of light. We are not bodies. This is not what it's all about. We're an infinite being of light, of frequency. We are part of Source. We're a fractal of Source. Source is the creator. Source is the all that is. We fractaled from Source so that we can be separate from Source. So there are 6 billion people on this planet, all having fractal experiences that are all actually part of Source, that allows Source to learn from 6 billion souls at the same time. So Source learns through watching us all separate and go do our own thing in our own ways, and that we're infinite. We are like Source. Source is infinite. It doesn't begin, it doesn't end. Either do we. So what each one of our souls is on an infinite journey of discovery and learning. And when you really look at it from that perspective, from your higher self, as some people say, then there's no reason to be angry, to be judgmental, to be harmful, unless you choose to be harmful. If you want to, be harmful, okay, maybe you have to learn what that experience is like. But we have free choice to do as we choose. And when this life is over, I honestly believe we sit down with our spirit guides and our celestial family and our ancestors, and kind of review what we learned, and that there's no judgment. It's not like God is up there saying, you were bad, you did this, you're going to hell. No. It was like, how did it feel to be a jerk? Like, how did it feel to be nice? How did it feel to, look at it from the other person's perspective, that person that you really hurt, let's put you there in their shoes. How does that feel? What did you learn from that experience? And I think, at that point, some people choose, I think, we can reunite with Source at that point, just go back and create and unite with the creator if we want. But we also can choose to have another life, either on this planet or another planet or another dimension other than the third dimension. The third dimension is a very dualistic, low density existence. And I think one of the challenges that we selected when we came to a life in this dimension is we wanted to try to find unity, how to join with all in a very dualistic, good, bad, me, you dimension. And some people choose me over you and good versus bad, but many of us, I think, are trying to find the middle way, because I I always have a bias to wanting to exist in a high frequency uh, for myself, and I feel that the way for me to do that is to always be like the Buddhists, not to be religious. I'm not religious at all, but they have some guiding principles that I find interesting. One is just find the middle way, find the balance point between, you know, attachment and non-attachment, between good and bad, between all of these things that we experience in this world. So, when I look at existence, the meaning of existence from that perspective, um, then I can be very accepting of everything. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't protect myself, because if people are intending me harm, well, different story. I'm going to give you some boundaries and limitations. You're not going to be marching into my life or into my house. um, you're gonna get that from me. But I by and large, let people do their thing, and I try not to be triggered or reactive in an emotional way. And by the way, the last thing I'll say is I finally figured out what Thor was. Trust, honor, unity, respect, and loyalty. I'm a little bit slow to the party sometimes, but I get it now. And your different levels in here: personal growth and simple relationships. The next level, serious relationships, and then human understanding. I get it. Well done, well put together. And I'll land my plane now.
I know there's other people who want to speak. I just want to piggyback on what the right guy said. And this is closely related to how I perceive the reason for all creation is to be. If I may share it with you, I don't know if you want to hear it or not, but I would really like to share it with you. And yeah,
I'd say go right ahead.
yeah, what I came to understand in my tinkerings is that I was always thinking about why if there is a thing we call God, the Creator, which is creating the creation we are experiencing and seeing, why would be the reason? And actually, the answer it came upon my heart is that there is no reason. There is just the nature. The nature is the knowing, and the light, which is the light. The light is all knowing, all patterns, which are expressing themselves into form. And the reason would not be the reason. It's just, I feel the only way you can create something in an absolute system is by dividing within yourself inwardly, by fractalizing your own soul to express some kind of patterns. You cannot, if you have number one, you can just see one, right? But in order to express more numbers and more configurations, you have to split the number one into fractals, and these fractals can behave in different, way to express the patterns we are observing: the sun, the moon, the human being, the tree, And if you would, and just I'm going to come to the point with the soul, and the only way you can do it, because I believe that the soul is the point which is holding all knowing and all patterns, and the only way to divide itself, to express lesser patterns and lesser, different configuration, you need to split it and veil it from the other knowledge. Otherwise, everything would collapse into all knowing again, and nothing will be created. So when the Creator splits his soul into multiplicity, I'm this. Not just me, but my whole body is like a collection of many souls expressing in conjunction idea of my human body, and based on my knowing, I express my current body, and because this way I'm helping my Creator create the idea of a human being. And the soul is gradually moving from knowing less to knowing more, and each time you know something more in each life cycle, you can express more. The more you know, the more you can express, and the soul and develops, like he said, into eternity, in my opinion, by no knowing to all knowing. And once you reach the all knowing, which some people call the Christ consciousness, this is where you become God and you create God. But you never stop existing. You never stop feeling yourself as I am. You're just upgrading until you become the one thing that is creating the all. And this is where your cycle ends, and you start a new cycle again. It's eternal loop of self-realization as God. And can you imagine the bigger ecstasy of self-realizing as the all powerful being which can create everything with all knowing? And this can only be achieved by knowing everything and being able to express everything. We are limited by our own bodies, what we can express, and our own knowing, but we extend our bodies with machines to enable to express new knowings. And this is just a thought I had, of the nature of God and how everything and why would everything exist, in my opinion.
That
Hope
was
it makes
awesome.
sense. It's
I loved it.
Good day,
You got
everybody.
Hey, yeah. Go ahead, man. Sorry I interrupted you.
Would you allow me just to highlight something?
Of course, everybody's got a voice in here.
I think the word create shouldn't exist at all because we do not create and nothing has been created because everything has already existed. And when we think we create is it's a manipulated word in a way. Excuse my English. It's not my first language, and I'm trying to
You're doing fine, man. You're doing
myself.
great.
So, because we don't create anything, we only transform things, and there shouldn't be a creator either, because everything has existed. Even the source itself hasn't been created, and it did exist. And believing is not knowing. So when we know, we shouldn't be believing unless we know. Thank you. That's what I have to say for now.
As I kind of sort of agree with you in a sense. Um, one, I'm a big fan of removing labels. Period. But also, I personally don't believe in anything because I know that the word lies right in the middle of believe. So that's why I understand completely where you're coming from, or I feel like I do. But I feel like maybe like telling other people that because they believe this or that they created that or that they just remembered this or whatever, that's separating further, man. I'm trying to integrate here. I'm trying to bring this all back together where we're all cool to each other and cool with each other again, instead of well, I don't like the fact that you use the word create, so I'm not gonna be friends with you, and I don't like the fact that you use the word believe, so I'm not gonna be friends with you. That's so why are we like this? Why can't we just be like, that's a cool opinion, man, I dig that. I'm gonna try to understand it in your perspective, but I may struggle a little bit, but I'm not gonna tell you that you're wrong. I just feel like that we can be better if we all start doing like that. We all start treating each other like that, because I'm a cat person, but I used to not go to people's houses if they had dogs. I live with 3 dogs now, and I've taken care of these dogs many times. Do the dogs get in my bed? No, because them and my cat don't get along. Um, but I'm a lot more open to sleeping with a dog now than I was 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, because I decided to stop hating on them just because they were dogs. And I decided to see what the hell it was that everybody else liked about them. And I get that now. And this all came from being attacked by one and having to have my arm reconstructive surgery and 12 weeks of physical therapy for me to relearn how to use my left hand. That's when I decided to start being nice to dogs. And I don't know, I feel like maybe if we kind of think like that on all things and quit like being mean to each other over dumb stuff, because really all it is, everything we're talking about is literally talking more labels, putting more labels on things, separating us further. And I also feel like we're all kind of preaching to the choir too at this point, right, guys? It feels like we may be saying it in a slightly different way, but we're pretty much all saying the same shit.
We're all saying,
So if there's enough,
I think
do
we're
it.
all, I think we're all saying the same thing, just in different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, and so maybe instead of like being on TikTok all the time and speaking ourselves into circles, we should like get out of our shells a little bit. Maybe I don't know. This is an idea, my idea maybe, but I think it's a fine one. But those of us that are brave enough to step out of our houses for a minute, because I know over this last few years, a lot of us have become pretty homebodies, agoraphobic, all that stuff. You know, we have locked ourselves into our homes with the World Wide Web in our hands. And that's how we do our connections now. We've forgotten what it's like to sit across the table from somebody at a restaurant and have a conversation. We've forgotten what it's like to have a conversation with a stranger in line because we're staring at the same pack of gum. We've forgotten what that is. We literally ignore each other in public now. Or if we acknowledge each other's presence, we do so in a negative vibration, and that's not cool either. But like, yes, I'm not even kidding. Like, I literally went to Walmart the other day, and there was a really great song playing on the intercom, and I love to sing, and I irritate people when I sing in public because they don't have that kind of bravery, and that's okay. But like, I come around the corner and I normally have no problem striking up conversations with total strangers in the aisleways. But this one lady was like active. She was literally trying not to make eye contact with me, trying not to be anywhere involved with the crazy lady that was singing in Walmart. Is the way I could hear her thoughts, so I know that's what she was thinking, but I was still trying to be like, oh man, it's cool to sing a song, you know, hell, I even threw out a Bible verse for it, okay? Like, it doesn't say you have to sing well, it just says lift a joyful voice, right? It was a great song, man. I don't even remember what song it was now, but like, she was kind of like, like that, like, I don't know I know you probably couldn't see my face, but you can probably understand by the sound of it, that was the way she was looking at me. And trying to avoid looking at me and trying to get away from me. And I was not trying to approach her. I was just trying to say hi, you know, because we're in the same freaking 5 feet of each other. It's just all I was trying to do. I was trying to show kindness and compassion, and she was so grossed out by it. I'm not condemning her, because I remember being like that too. But I feel like maybe we could start doing more of that out in the world. Actually being the example of the change that we want to see.
So where do we find a philanthropist to fund us? Because we're going to have
Say what?
some. I said, where do we find a philanthropist to fund us? Because I got some ideas of some things we could do, but it's going to take money to do it.
Yeah, see, and you know what really sucks too? You know, I'm into numerology. The number 9 is the philanthropist. That's my soul's urge and heart's desire. And I have had a problem with money burning a hole in my pocket when I had it, and then having none the next, my entire damn life. Like, thank you, higher self, universe, whatever the hell decided to put this person together. Let's just go on and put all these things in there, give them all this stuff, but then like, oh yeah, we're gonna put this little extra piece of spice in there so that you just keep tripping over your own philanthropy. Yeah, it's like those of us that have, when we have money, we're like good to people that don't, and then when we don't have money, we don't have anybody around. Like that kind of life. I see the cosmic joke in it all, and it does make me laugh, but I'm like, you know, and I'm sarcastic and funny about it. Hey, you know, that was really funny, God. I appreciate that one, you little jerk. I'm gonna get you when I get there. Don't you worry, we're gonna fight. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, so the reason that the universe or the cosmos or whatever does this to us specifically is to make us aware that we don't actually need the philanthropist to do the things. And I know that sounds crazy because everybody's so programmed that money is the thing, but I'm really literally living without it. And I smoke cigarettes and I have a cat. And but Buddha, like for instance, all Dalai Lama, all these others that have all these great, you know, minds and spiritualists of the past, they didn't have jobs. They did acts of service and shared knowledge and things like that amongst each other, much like what we're doing now. And people would feed them. And people would give them clothes or make them and buy them things or whatever it was. Yeah, there was money involved there. But I feel like we can go back to a moneyless society without It's going to piss all the rich people off. You know that, right? But I feel like
Yeah.
the banks can close. I feel like the governments can close once we are all healed enough to be compassionate and not be greedy and not be jealous and not be insecure and all that other crap. You know, when we all get to that point, I feel like a moneyless society can totally work. It has before. Hell, we humans created money. It doesn't exist on many other cosmoses and in many other dimensions and realities. This is one of the few realities that I've ever existed, one of the few timelines I've existed, that money is literally the ruler and the people with it. Like, there are other places that they exchange knowledge, goods and service, acts of service, and art and songs. Like, I can't give you a birthday present, but I can sing you happy birthday, and believe it or not, everybody freaking loves it when I do that. And it's totally freaking free. I was already given this voice. I have half of my hair today because on Tuesday's live I cut my hair off because a friend of mine has the big C. I've been growing my hair out for 25 years. Every time I find somebody that has it, or it gets to the point where it's like getting in my butt crack, I cut it in half and I donate it. I donate my hair not to Locks of Love or the corporate conglomerates, but to somebody that I know that either is losing their hair because of that, or knows somebody that is, or can make a wig out of it and will donate it directly to a cancer hospital. And I sent my hair to her yesterday in the mail, and Ed grew it for free, and I can do that for her. And I have beautiful mermaid curls, and I'm not trying to boast my hair or nothing, but I could also keep my hair short and not care about that. But I can grow this hair. And people love and want my hair. And yes, I could charge for it. I could charge outrageous prices for my hair. And it is some bougie hair too, by the way. But I don't do nothing fancy with it. It's in pigtail braids all the damn time. And I grow it out until I can't stand it, and then I cut it and I donate it. Because somebody out there is feeling bad for themselves because they're having to be chemicaled, or because they have alopecia or whatever the hell's going on with them. And it makes them feel better about themselves to have pretty hair. And it wouldn't be fair of me to have pretty hair and to just leave it on the floor or keep it short and not care about the person that would love to have that hair. And it would make them feel pretty on a day that they're feeling sick. You know what I mean? I've donated 8 wigs so far in the last 25 years.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
thank you. But it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I can't give you a birthday present because I don't have any money, but I can sing and I can make a video and post it. And my friends love that. Everybody loves it when I do that. And that doesn't sound like much of a contribution to society, but it made somebody feel good. Growing your hair out, that's not much of a contribution. What's it take, 3 to 5 years? Yes, it does. But it doesn't sound like I'm getting that much pull out of that thing. But I got given a picture one time of a little skeletal 8-year-old with my hair on her head. She had mermaid curls, and she had always wanted to be a mermaid. And I didn't know this. I donated it to the hairdresser herself, and she made the wig and then donated it to the hospital. But and a few months later, they came back with this picture where I'll never forget this little girl, man. I don't know what her name is or whether or not she survived, but I will never forget the smile on that baby's face. And that right there made every other thing that I talk about worth it, and made it mean something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this
Like,
is
I've always wanted to
universal,
shave half of my
correct?
head. Sorry?
No,
Go ahead.
what I do also. I sometimes feel the voice. For example, I was in the shop and the guy in front of me seemed to have forgotten his wallet, and he had to go all the way back home, I guess, to take the items. So he was like, I can see on his face, but I just felt a need or urge from within to just pay the guy's bill, and everybody was in shock. Well, how can I just pay so much money for the guy's holy grocery, shopping experience? And I paid it all in full, and everybody was in shock. I was not asking anything in return. I just wanted to help the guy out, And I was in shock that everybody else was in shock. Why should it be so strange to help another human being? And if I may ask something to the right guy, you noted in the chat that some people say that creator is all that is, and we need to use restrictive words. I wanted to ask what you mean by that. Since I don't believe the creator is the God. God is the creator and the destroyer, but the God itself is not manifested in the form. God is formless. So creator and destructor are two polarities of his primal, in my opinion, anyway. I just wanted to ask what you meant by that.
Yeah, well, what I would start off with first is that, the English language is very limited. It's very difficult to express thoughts and ideas in the English language. So I'll start. I will start there. And what I try not to do when I speak is to make declarative statements. So I often and almost always try to say, "Some people say," you know. So and then go ahead and say, what the point is that I am putting out there. It's not a declaration. It's not a
I now I
declaration.
understand. Totally understand what you meant now. I just misunderstood. I misread the way of speech in the sentence. I understand completely what you meant.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think the regiving, it's like similar, the giving and regiving part. It's very important to give of yourself if you want to receive. You cannot just keep taking without giving. It's going to burden your soul with imbalance, and the universe tends to balance everything out by taking in one form or another from you. Or anybody else who is doing the imbalance, But in terms, it's like similar to a plant. Let's say you are closed in a room with you and the plant. You have to take the oxygen from the plant, give it the dioxide, right? And the plant gives you the fruit, and you need to, I don't know, poop it back to the soil so the plant can live. And you're both living in harmony. And the moment you start retaining your part and taking the fruit, you're disbalancing the whole interchange, and this is when the one party will just dissipate, and then with it the other party too. So if you know what I mean.
How can I be so
Imagine
rich
that.
without a
Sorry.
dollar to fund? How can I be so rich without a dollar to fund me? I'll tell you how if you're still listening. I put my investments in the ones who surround me. It don't take a nickel, a penny, or a dime. All it takes me is I give them my time. I give all I can and expect nothing back. When I fuck up, I don't turn and attack. I own my shit. I grow and I move on. I keep doing my best from dusk until dawn. I don't know all the answers, but I try to raise question. If we don't challenge ourselves, there's no valuable lessons. Speaking of values and lessons we learn, do you have a moral compass? If you don't, it's my turn. Thorough is my compass. It won't lead me astray. Starts with trust, one thing people lack today. Once trust is in place, you can then have honor. Then you can unite. Without that, you're a goner. With trust, honor, and unity, you begin to respect. With those cornerstones, the foundation is met. Now we can build on a solid start. Let's not forget the most important part. With trust, honor, unity, and respect now in place, the loyalty we all seek is the loyalty we make. Sounds like a pretty good start for all the souls asking why. I can constantly hear all the desperate cries. Although what I speak of may seem like a metaphor, I'll bet you all of your money it holds up to the storms. My body is my temple. My temple is mine. Now will you tell me your thoughts, and I'll pour some wine.
Basically, the point I was trying to make with the hair thing. Like, I could totally be taking my hair for granted and not care at all, and just throwing it on the floor. But because I know that there's somebody out there that would cherish to have a wig again, or to have hair again when they're going through their worst moments in life, sometimes the last moments in life. And it seems like something silly and stupid to some people, and I don't think it's silly and stupid. I think it's exactly being the change I want to see in the world. I've always wanted to shave the side of my head. I'm a punk rocker, okay? I've always wanted to have a mohawk, all those things, but I've chosen not to do that to my hair because I know that the more of it that I grow, the more of it I can give to somebody that is feeling terrible and would like to have, something pretty. And I don't take care of it for myself. I take care of it for them. And I see people taking their hair for granted all the time, or taking the littlest things like that for granted because they already have it, and they're not thinking about who they could be helping with the thing that they're destroying. So yes, agreed.
Can you
Yes, and
can you give me some of your hair?
sorry.
Mero, could you give me some of your hair?
Dixie, as much as I would love to give you my hair, I know what you would do with it, and no.
I wanna
You guys, he's a real
glue it
friend,
on
so
my feet. I always wanna have it feet.
I'm sure you do, you freaking monkey. Go away. But yet we're so mean to our friends, right, guys?
Yeah. And also, I have a different stance on giving. Also, in some cases, it's the saying, give a man a fish, you will feed him for a day. Learn a man how to fish and give him the equipment, and then you will have actually helped the guy. So I believe, like the right guy said, everybody has their own path. You just need to, instead of just giving them something to get rid of or just feel it for yours. I think it's a lot of my giving before was from my own ego. It was just giving to fuel my own sense of righteousness and what I need to do. But I think I was never helping anybody whom I just gave money out of the blue. If I were to give him something, I would sit with the guy, ask him about his life, understand his pain, and then help him get on his feet so he can do whatever he needs to do for himself, instead of just giving him a patch so I can just go on with my life thinking I have done the righteous thing. So I believe personally, this is just my personal opinion. Of course, I don't want to offend anybody. I just say that I think the better way to help somebody is like by investing the time and the effort to actually help the guy in a meaningful way, by explaining him your thought patterns and how you are having a successful life or whatever, happy life. And by sharing his pain, you actually can guide him towards a better path, depending on his desire to do so. But most people who are living in some states, in some not states, in some kind of levels of existence, they don't want to move. I have seen homeless people who are happy to be homeless. They're having a free life, and they're enjoying their existence. This is the way they live, and they don't want to move on. And this is why I stopped giving out of the blue money to everybody I encounter. Even if it's looking sad and displeased, I just would sit and ask him, man, what's going on? How are you? Can I help you? How can I help you? Give me money. I said, no, man, but tell me what's burdening your heart. Can I help you? Another way, I want to help you get a job if you want. I can help you, but they don't want. Most of people don't want, so I stopped doing it because I feel there was a lack of desire. So when I see the true desire of people wanting to help themselves, then I'm gonna give everything I have. I'm gonna push them to whatever I have.
I think I understand or comprehend what you say in wisdom, but the question is, what do we really own to give away?
What do we have to give away?
Yes, because
What we own to give away is our knowledge, our time, our kindness, our compassion, our acts of service. That's what we can give away. We can give those things away all day. Can I give you my blood? Sure. If you need it. I've got really great blood and a really great heart, and I donate as often as I can get to the donation office. I don't do it for the money, but because half the time I don't even take it. But or I give it to somebody else that does need it, because I really don't. The money's not what's important, and I think we really can live in a society that money's not an issue anymore. And we don't need police or governments either, or kings or queens, to tell us what to do. If we're healed, we can govern ourselves, and we will know that, hey man, Joe down the street, he's ailing, and he hasn't been able to mow his yard in weeks. And his wife used to love to go and sit out on the porch, but she can't now because the fleas are so bad because of the tall grass. But I'm able-bodied. I'm going to go down there and mow their yard for them. I'm going to knock on the door and ask them if that's cool first, because, they may be napping and don't want to be disturbed by the loud motor. Because I have that kind of compassion in me. And I know that I can do that thing for them. That's what I'm talking about.
I got you, but I was talking outside of the material or the physical manifested world that we live in, of usury and modern slavery. So giving comes with more expectations than it feeds the exact same ego that we live, that built all of this broken, or I don't know if it's broken or it's the way it's meant to be, where we think that some are more superior than others, instead of looking at each other like a different version of ourselves in a different vehicle, which is a body, and appreciate it more. Hope you got
Yes.
them.
Yeah, but you're also touching on something important. You know, if you imagine if you are having a palace and you're having all the fruits and you have everything you ever desired because you actually fought for it. You know, you actually did something about it to have it. And then there's other people who didn't, were lazy. Maybe they didn't want to do it or didn't have the necessary means or the help in the as as children to get to this level to be able to get this. Is it okay to share? Yes, by all means. But I think it's better to share it in a way to allow the person to have the same as you, and we split it if necessary. I will split everything I have with everybody, you know, as long as I see the desire and help. But this brings the point of our society. Imagine now everybody's speaking about this elite, and they're holding and suppressing us, and all these things, programming us, and but you think about that, these people having a lot of power and a lot of money, but the problem is with the selfishness. They don't want to share it because they know everybody is having it. Everybody, they will not have so much anymore, probably, you know. And I think that's the problem with the society. The role that the governing bodies actually are people who don't have them
Would
that
would
mindset in their heart, you know, to give out, to share, to have a, you know, like Henry Ford said, you know, when he founded the Ford, he said, give to the people, give to the workers so they have, so we all grow. And he was trying to be generous with the salaries and everything. And this is the mindset the governing bodies should also have. But unfortunately for everybody, they don't.
well, if you allow me to say, once we start to ignore that, it wouldn't exist because of we think we get jealous of seeing others living in certain comfort that it means nothing, and we get like kind of eating our energy into something that we're trying to actually avoid thinking
Hey guys,
into.
one mic at a time because that background noise of somebody typing or rattling something is making the other person talking where we can't hear them. So one mic at a time, if y'all don't mind.
Actually, that was me. Sorry. Forget to mute.
So the government doesn't actually exist unless we give it our attention and our energy. Because who is that? At the end of the day, it's just a character who knows no more than just use others for their own interests and make others jealous in the same time. Bringing them down as peace and in something, I don't know what's the name, said before, we're going to come into trading with energy instead of using this fake money that we believe to be something that we cannot do anything without it. But at the end, it's nothing. It's just printed out of thin air, and people still believe that without it, they wouldn't be able to exist or do anything. It's a belief system.
Listen,
Yes.
can I ask
Then
you
it's
something?
Meadow, brother.
Oh, sorry, Meadow. Can I ask you something, brother? If you and I were closed in a room and there is just a small amount of oxygen for both of us, some people would not say, "Okay, I'm accepting my fate," and we both, we both unalive in the same time, you know, because this is our fate. But some people would actually grasp for that last minute and try to do something gruesome to that other person just to extend this existence in some kind of form. This is just extreme explanation of what I'm trying to convey, is that some people are not ready for what is coming next, even though it's an observable and unavoidable fate for each and every person. And you know, this corporeal form is limited, and you can just extend it so much. So some people are trying to grasp for that, experience, limited experience by all means, instead of just trying to share it with everybody else, and just be a whole homogeneous, unified, blob of humanity, of humans. And it's hard. It's hard. Body versus the mind. Some people don't think are not strong enough to have this resolution, to say, I don't care about the matter, I don't care about material things. For me, spirit is all, and but I still want to do something, but not by all means. Yeah.
In my perspective, I guess that is coming out of fear and ego in the main time, because when we fear death, which is
Unaliving. It's a buzzword, my friend. You're gonna get bananas.
right, yes, thank you.
I
So
got
the
block words, and Pamela, you're next. Okay.
right, okay.
Well, you finish what you're saying. I was just letting her know she's up next. But I got backwards on these lives, so you guys don't have to worry about saying nothing. I already got you covered. It's gonna block out anything that you say. So it's in the settings. You can go in your settings and set it up like that. So if you didn't know, but I'll shut up so you guys can talk. Go
I
ahead.
mean, when we vibrate or we start to act with fear, we lose ourselves. And then if we act with the ego, till where we can be egoists, how much do we need out of others or sucking out of others' energy in order to fulfill the ego that lives within us? I leave the mic for whoever wants to speak.
Cool. It's Pamela turn, I think, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm here late. Thank you for the invite to speak. So I'm not actually clear on what is the topic of discussion. I've listened to a few of you speak. So would you enlighten me? What exactly are we speaking about? Or is it just our personal knowledge and experience?
So what brings us here today is what's on the panel. It's the 3 levels of Thurl. I've pretty much been explaining this to the panel today, and once we go over it, we kind of just we take it wherever. It's a free for all. There's no bounds. We're just kind of trying to work together and be open with each other and practice that and lead by example starting off. I think that's what I'm seeing out of this. Anybody else got any input they want to add to it? Because I want to stress this is an open panel. Everybody has a voice here. So
Okay, so I do remember being contacted, and I haven't been able to write down what you have asked of me.
oh, that's fine.
But from what I see things as personal growth. I can't affect a positive change in anything around me unless I enlighten myself and open up myself to what I see as knowledge. I don't have a how can I put this? It's a kind of cleansing yourself of belief systems and turning towards knowledge. Did I make that? Is that understandable?
It's basically whatever you. I was just asking whatever whatever you've seen. So if that's what you see, I'm gonna have to say that's cool, but I would love a chance to just maybe explain in a little more depth, if you will.
Okay. So, for myself, I'm only speaking for myself. Uh, I meditate. Um, I believe in bringing calmness to your mind and your soul, into your core, um, connecting with not only yourself and others and your environment. I believe in grounding is for me, not just believing, but knowing that I ground so I can connect with my environment. Um, I do that to cleanse myself so that when I'm around others, when I'm with others, whether it's family, friends, associates, I'm with others, whether it's family, friends, associates, strangers, that I can give my best. My kindness shines through, my love shines through. Um, for that, uh, being able to touch someone, I'm not good on sharing experiences, but that's just for myself. Um, we all have that within us, that light, the ability to touch someone or and share kindness and love. There's not much I can do about what's going on in politics in the world, in the governing class, the elite of the elites. All I can do is hopefully touch someone close to me in a more positive way. But before I can do that, I have to cleanse myself of all the negativity and all the toxic experiences that I have had. Um, I uh, I believe in the energy that we have and that we share. Um, that's basically it
Okay.
to
Awesome.
start.
Um, I just want to say this part. Thurl doesn't go against any god. It walks with him. Thurl teaches trust, honor, unity, respect, and loyalty,
Right.
truth, and love. Uh, those are the same as values as God called us to that God called us to live by. This isn't a replacement for faith; it's a foundation for growth. It actually supports religions and helps build stronger relationships with them. Uh, it's just about helping people live better and uh, just basically trying to uh, love deeper and think more clearer and walk closer to God. Uh, so, yeah, I just wanted to clarify that part of it. Other
Oh,
than that, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
oh yeah. Oh, thank you. And I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you. I don't deny God. Did that come across?
No, 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 no. I try to clarify that with everybody that comes through because I've had a lot of heat from people that are very strong felt religious people thinking that I might be treading on their beliefs.
Mm.
I just try to put that right up front so people know that I respect everybody and their beliefs, and that's what this panel is about. Is everybody's allowed to have a different opinion here and still be able to speak it and not be uh, have stones thrown at them, basically. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just it's for clarity and understanding. That's kind of how I see it.
Mm, absolutely. I can respect that. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm more of the divine and the connectivity between us and our environment and respecting that.
It's
Um,
what it's about.
and
More
I'm
brother, what's
always
going on up
here to
here?
support anyone. I've always told anyone that, you know, I I I have I love to listen. So if someone ever needed, that's what I do with my friends and my family. If you just need to vent energy, you let it out, and that's great. That's a great. I see that as a great support system of being able to just listen and allow people to vent and release any energy, whether it be negative or positive.
Yeah, you're getting it. That's what I'm saying. It's
Trying. Corey, but I apologize, everyone. It's a great live and it's great energy, and everybody's got amazing ideas. But I've got to drop because I have to put in my due diligence, and it's time to do chores before it gets too hot.
Hey, what time
So
are
do you
you
mind
going
dropping
live?
me? And I love.
What
Oh
time are
yeah,
you
that's
going?
right. Tonight, I go to lives Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you don't know how to do the time zone math like I don't, Google will do it for you for free. I live in Texas. If you forget the CST part, so that'll help as well. But 8 p.m. tonight. My lives are 3 to 4 hours, and we always have hard hitting topics on how to connect better, be better psychics, be better people, be healing, and all the things. And I've already forgotten what my topic was tonight, so I have to go look at my notes, which are on this phone, unfortunately. So, and I probably won't have time to put it on an advertisement today. So this is as close to advertisement as it is. My schedule's posted on my profile if you ever forget. But I do hope y'all will join me tonight and come and learn some stuff, do some healing, some activations, and join the good fight, my friends. I love you all, appreciate y'all, and thank y'all for letting me share with y'all too.
Bye
Drop
now.
me.
I'll be in. Thank you for
Love you, Brother
being
Bear.
here.
Much
Gratitude,
love.
love, and
Bye, honey.
respect.
Yeah. So here we are. You know, this thorough thing you have actually, it's just very. It's something I actually went through in no losses, but for me started with logic. This the level 3 I started with, and then I found everything else. It's just in reverse. This is how it unfolded for me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, I don't think there's any particular order that it really necessarily has to go in. So, um, like I said, this was just me wanting to call a meeting and hoping people would show up. And if they did, I wanted to have something to offer. And I want to shout out to Mary here, Mary Bear. She's got the other Thurl tag on her photo there. She's been along the whole way with me, and she's a full diehard Thurl. She lives it. She is it. She is Thurl. So thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Corey.
But yeah, I welcome anybody at any time to come up here if they are ever feeling down or confused or whatever it may be, and they just need to come up and talk to someone, or if they want to be part of helping us sort some things out and make that that communication gap disappear. That's kind of, I think, what both Meadow and I are both wanting to see is just power of equality, and the fact that we may be all different, but we're all just the same. Like I like how she said that. That's why I sit back and let you guys do a lot of talking, because I'm learning from all of you. So it's great to have you guys here. I'm humble and I'm grateful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
I wanna just clarify something about myself because I try to be selfless, and that's why I choose to name myself, so everyone can tell that they're talking to themselves in a different body.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And be there for everybody as well. It doesn't mean that I have no emotions or no attachment to certain things, but I'm doing the best to grow out of it and be that selfless man that I'm trying to be. And thank you for everyone. Love you all.
Love and respect. Sending it right back to you, man. Of course. I'm glad you guys are here. So, what can we do here? I got plenty of stuff I can do to keep us entertained. What would you guys? I'll give you guys the options. So I'm an author. I have a book that I could read. I could do book read. I could also go into. I'm not sure if I can pull it up right now. My Wi-Fi might be down, but I do have a lot of information backing this up on AI as well. If you guys wanted to go through any of that, that's an option as well. We can turn on some music. We can. It's a free for all. I'll keep this live going as long as people are wanting to stick around.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, man.
Um, I don't know. I'm thinking. Probably I'll go live sometime. I have been uncomfortable doing that, but I want to do like gathering people to do live meditation, maybe prayer if they're into it. Just for what's happening right now, especially in my heart, I feel the unity with Gaza and the children there, and just to send healing and love out. That's kind of where I want to exist. So I'll think about that and how to do it. I don't have a big following like you right now. I'm not organized, but yeah, I'm just gonna. That's all I want to say. And thank you, Corey, for your life.
Well, so just to let you know, we had a lady stop in here earlier last night. Well, last night, and she was from Gaza, and I did tell her that once I got off the lives, I'd be getting a hold of her. And if you wanted to be part of this, I'm going to be looking at through resources and trying to find options or things that we can do for them. Maybe a fundraiser or something like that, but. I figured the worst case scenario, we could look at GPT chat and see what they say for us to do to help out, and it could give us information on what we could do next. But I'm open to any ideas as well. I'm starting from scratch with it, so I've never done a fundraiser or anything. But if you wanted to be part of that, just hit me up in DMs and we'll pick up from there. Anybody, just let me know.
Thank you.
Is that something you might be interested in, Mary?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go babysit now, but thanks for having me. God bless you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Take care, Mary. Thanks for being here.
Bye. Bye. God bless.
All right.
I'm I'm just want you to know, thank you for the invite. And I have to go.
That's fine.
Take care of business. And
Well, thank you for coming.
you're welcome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're greatly appreciated.
You have a
Love and
wonderful
respect to you. Take care.
love and respect.
Well, I just want to say this. I feel 100% better than I felt 2 days ago by talking to all y'all. This has been a big load off of my shoulders, and I'm just really grateful. It's Ray Wiley Hubbard. He's an artist, musician, and he says days he keeps his gratitude higher than his expectations are very good days. And I've always liked that, so I go by that. My gratitude is higher than my expectation all the time. So I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys want to stick around, or you guys ready to shut this live down for the day?
Yeah, I'm also going. I'm busy, but thank you for the live, my friend, and it was a pleasure meeting you.
My pleasure. Yeah, I hope we see you guys again for sure. I'm gonna probably drop on out
See you.
here and get some rest. So
Thank you very much to
yeah, thank you
having
guys, all of you. I appreciate
everyone.
you guys so much. Everybody in the comments, thanks for being here. Everybody that was here today, I really greatly appreciate all of you. Adam Apples, appreciate your help, man, and your assistance on everything. It's good having you all the time, man. All the time.
You have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
Yep, take care.
Cheers.
You want me to drop you then, Adam?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you, brother. Oh. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Much love to you. Love and respect, everybody. Take care. Always be kind.